Hi guys!
Hey guys!
So today we are going to review one of the DC Collectibles Bombshell statues, and it is of Poison Ivy. It is just like the comic book cover that they had of her. These statues are extremely detailed. They are so beautiful and you're really going to love them.
You guys may have seen the Bombshell art. Fantastic. They're on comic books.
Beautiful.
DC has been awesome enough, really, to make this in a statue form. Absolutely beautiful. So let's get into it.
Up first, let's take a look at the DC Collectibles Bombshell statue box of Poison Ivy. And on the front of it, we have a zoomed in look of her face and some of her vines wrapping around her. This is a numbered limited edition statue. And then on the next side, we have another up-close view of her from a different angle. You get to see her arms raised in the air, which is a beautiful, beautiful...
low-profile photo.
Right. It is a cold cast porcelain statue. On the back, we get to see 3 of the pinup statues, and we have Poison Ivy, Harley Quinn, and the Batgirl statue. On the last side, we have a beautiful portrait done by Aunt Lucia, and this is a picture of Poison Ivy with all of her vines wrapped around her. The statue measures about 7 1/4 inches high, and it is sculpted by Tim Miller.
The great Tim Miller, who does the sculptures, I think on all of them, or maybe most of these Bombshell statues. He does some fantastic work, and to combine Aunt Lucia with Tim Miller, wow, what an amazing...
Oh my gosh.
And then to combine that with DC, boom! Awesome.
Now let's get into the statue. This statue is highly detailed from her leggings to her hair to her face to the vines.
Beautiful.
It is so beautifully done. The pose is gorgeous. She just looks like a pinup from a magazine or from a movie in the
very Betty
50s,
Page.
60s, yes.
Very Betty Page. Love the little accessories they put on her, from the butterfly on her elbow to, like you said, the tattoos, which does have a bat symbol on her elbow, which is cool. We love that. On her stockings, the individual little designs are actually etched into her leg and they're not painted on, which I think is another really nice touch.
I think that's great because in this way it ensures that it won't rub off or anything like that. The flower on the side of her hair is just another great detail. It's very well done and it just looks like it's a part of her hairpiece. I love that.
Yeah, I think one of the strong things on this statue is definitely the colors that they've chosen.
Yes.
They mesh well together. Great color theory. Her lips being that sort of red maroon bourbon-esque type look. Very, very sexy. Her eyes really call to you. The tattoos on them are done with a decal and not painted on, so they look absolutely perfect. If you guys didn't know about these statues, these are all hand painted. This isn't some machine that just kind of sprays it on and goes down a conveyor belt. These are all individually hand painted by an artist in the factory, and they do not disappoint.
Now her vines are in 3 separate pieces and they're magnetic, and you have to put them in a specific order or it's not going to mesh well onto the base.
Yeah, and they are numbered, so it makes it easy for you to do that.
It's very, very easy to do. And these vines are so pretty. I love how they wrap around her whole body, and then the very last one, it forms a heart in the background, which is exactly something you would see Poison Ivy do in any of the comics or even in a movie or game. You see her do these kinds of things.
That's very true. It really is a great touch because when you see her, and they expect you to look at her from a low angle straight on, and when that happens, that's when you see the heart just a little bit cold cocked to the right, and that's just a beautiful touch. And only a great artist like Aunt Lucia would know that, you know.
Oh, definitely. And with Poison Ivy, she is such a hardcore person, but then she has such a sweet side, and then to see that heart in the vines is just a great touch to know that whoever is looking at this, and if you're a true fan, you're going to understand the detail and why certain things are the way they are, and I think that's a great touch.
Yeah. Detail hidden for the fan.
Yes. Now on these vines we have the little snap-in plant eater
Little
thing.
House of Horrors-esque plant eater, mouse eater, fly eater, fly trap thing. I don't know what they are. It looks scary though.
They have such sharp teeth, and you can see their little evil tongues in there, and it's just like, back off or we will bite you.
Yes,
So,
they are protecting their queen, no doubt about it. On Poison Ivy's base, you get a diamond plate, actually embossed texture, so it's not just painted on. You can feel it. You rub your fingers across it. It's very rough, just like diamond plate, which is a great touch. Didn't have to do that, but they did. Love that. You get a brushed aluminum look, almost like an airplane around that, which is another great touch. It goes along with the Bombshell. And they carry that over on every statue that you get in this line, which helps them look good together, which is fantastic. On the actual nameplate, you get a billet look around it that frames the Poison Ivy nameplate and logo. Fantastic. Now, in the box, sometimes these are big and they're a little hard to get out of, which is another great touch that they've turned this into a magnetized nameplate, so that'll come right off really easy to help fit inside the box. So let's get into the positives and negatives. First up, positives. There's a lot of them.
Oh gosh, are there?
Face sculpt. It's definitely the face sculpt.
The face sculpt is beautiful. She has those high cheekbones. The makeup is so perfect. I love this. I love how she has her hair, her flower, everything about her face sculpt is beautiful.
Yeah, which brings up the next positive, which is definitely the hair.
Yes.
The hair is beautiful. It's crazy beautiful. You look at it from the back, her hands are interwoven with it. It's blowing in the wind, the color that they chose for it.
The pin curls on it, the pin rolls, everything about it is so pretty.
Just amazing. And really, she might be the best one in the line as far as face sculpt goes.
I agree.
She has a beautiful, at least one of them. There are some others that are absolutely beautiful, but that face sculpt and that hair combined make this statue absolutely fantastic.
Makes it an absolute must-have.
Yes.
I love the tattoos on her where she has the Batman logo on her elbow. That is just a great detail. One of my favorite things about it because she's just like, hey, you know, I love Batman, but I hate Batman.
And they didn't over tattoo her like what we might have in some upcoming movies.
Yes.
It's still very sexual. It's still very... you know, they give her a sleeve on one side and then a low sleeve on the other side. They didn't overdo it.
It's very feminine.
Yes, they've accentuated her curves with the tattoos instead of just throwing a tattoo on there. We were like, well, why'd you do that? That didn't really need that. You know, don't touch the face. There is a neck tattoo, which is still fantastic because it runs from her back up and around. You know, it fits her. I think Poison Ivy, if any character should have tattoos in the DC world as a girl, I think Poison Ivy's there. 100%
hands down, I have to agree with you. If any character is going to have tattoos, it has to be Poison Ivy because of the vines. You can make that look so beautiful.
Yeah,
great pattern.
Yep.
Her overall outfit is beautiful. It's very, very sexy, and it's very reminiscent of that time era too. Of
Betty
pinups.
Page.
Yes. She has stockings that are attached to the garter with the high-waisted shorts. It's so pretty. She has her high heels on, which is a great detail and a great touch, and they match every single component of her outfit. And I love how they are a darker shade of green than her actual skin tone, and it's a great contrast with her skin tone.
Yeah, and speaking of her skin tone, I'm really glad that they decided to paint her green, because in some forms, Poison Ivy isn't green, and I think when they just do it like this, where it's just a little touch of green inside that.
Subtle green.
Yeah, that makes a great piece of art. Now let's get to the negatives. Now this could be a negative or it could be a positive to you. To me personally, it's a small negative, and it's the vines and her sitting down in them. You know, I'm not a huge fan of the fact that she's sitting down. I wish she was kind of standing up just because all the other ones are bigger. She's so small compared to all the other ones because she is sitting down and not standing up. Now, with that said, it's very Betty Page, it's very Poison Ivy. It makes total sense to me that she's sitting down in her garden. So there's absolutely nothing wrong with that in my head, and I think it's an either-or thing. If that's what you like, I think it's fantastic. If you'd rather her stand up, I think that's fantastic too. Just for me personally, I wish she was a little bigger.
I like how she's sitting down because I think that with Poison Ivy, she likes to be close to Mother Earth, and for her to have more of her body touching the earth, she's going to be able to have more of a power and harness Earth and Mother Nature. So I like that.
Some heavy stuff there.
That's right.
Poison Ivy fan. Now talking about the negatives, I mentioned the vines. You know, I think the vines are great, and I just don't care for that they overlap the front of her. Makes sense to me still. I don't think it's that big of a deal, but I just wish that it didn't actually cover the front of her because I would like to see all of her.
I agree. I feel like some of the vines kind of hide that beautifulness of her and her torso.
Yeah, especially that torso where she has that beautiful curve, that beautiful rib cage.
There's a lot of sculpting and detail that's hidden by the vines,
yeah.
Which the vines are highly detailed as well, but I would love to see more of her than the vines too.
But not enough of a negative to be that big of a difference.
No.
Other than that, I really don't think there's a lot of negatives. The statue's beautiful. We'll see you guys next time.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Bye.